Chapter 4, Nina. Dominick drives me back to my car. Thanks for helping me out today. I'm looking forward to the class on Saturday. I don't think you'll have any trouble, Nina. You did really well today. He gets out of the truck to come help me down. I feel like a little kid waiting for her daddy to help her out of the truck. He opens the door and I sit on the edge and he grabs me by the waist to lower me to the ground. So if there is a next time, how about we take my car? You can drive, but this thing is a bit much. I smile and point back with my thumb. Not that I didn't enjoy him having to put his hands on me. What, you don't like my truck? He looks somewhat offended and then smiles. It is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? It really is. I can't help it. His truck is a beast, but I guess it fits him. This guy is stacked with muscles and oh so tall. He towers over me by over a foot. Guessing maybe 6'4" or 6'5". Okay, if there is a next time, we can take your car and we can do rock, paper, scissors to see which one of us drives. We will settle it like adults. He laughs. I've seen a t-shirt like that. You have my car with my cell phone. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call me. I live just outside of town, but could get to you in a few minutes. Thanks. I should be okay, but I will call if I need anything. I'm a little shocked that he offered to come by. Sorta, kinda. On second thought, I can't see you staying in that house alone tonight. I know this sounds forward, but I have a guest room you can use. You would have complete privacy in your own bathroom. I can follow you home to get some clothes for however long you want to stay. I don't know what to say. This is even more shocking than when he offered to stop by if I needed something. He has a point. I shouldn't be in that house alone. What if the guy comes back? He knows I live alone. That's sweet of you. I don't want to be there either. Let's head to my place to get some stuff. This will be my first co-ed sleepover. Just kidding. This makes me feel better. I will follow you. I think this will be mutually beneficial. He knows I'm safe and I will be safe. We pull up to my house and I head to the front door with Dominick in tow. I unlock the door and he wants to take a look around first. I wait in the foyer until he's made his rounds. I highly doubt that coward would be out during the day, but you can never be too careful. Once Dom is satisfied, he leads me to my bedroom. He hovers in the doorway as I pack a suitcase and put a few outfits, pajamas, underwear, socks, and an extra pair of shoes. I head into the master bath and grab a few toiletries and pack them as well. I'm ready when you are. I have never had anyone be this nice to me before, to offer me a place to stay. Of course, it's under terrible circumstances, but he did. He grabs my suitcase and wheels it to the front door. I follow behind him and lock up the house. He is a man on a mission to get me to his house so that he knows that I'm okay. Thank you for doing this. He's actually thanking me. I appreciate you opening your home to me. I've lived here for a while now, and this by far is the nicest thing anyone around here has done for me. Between you and Connie, you guys have made this day a little bit more bearable. I hug his waist. That's all that I can reach. I'm trying to hold my emotions in check, swallowing hard and squeezing my eyes shut. He hugs me, rubbing a hand up and down my back. I know it's a total cliche, but what are friends for? I know he's trying to lighten the mood. Holding back a sob, I whisper, "Thank you. Let me get you home." Home. This is my home, my sanctuary, my oasis, or that's what it was until... Follow me, okay? He pulls back and I nod at him. Dominick leads the way to his home through town. I'm nervous about staying with him, but he seems like a decent guy. Connie wouldn't have introduced me to him if he weren't. He seems to be a pillar in the community and an all-around good guy. He's kind-hearted, generous, funny, and an excellent teacher. He is my firearms safety course instructor. This isn't going anywhere, and I would do well to remember that. He's provided me with a safe place to stay so that I'm not alone. We pull up to a modest ranch-style brick home on a couple of acres. I can see some targets way off in the distance behind the house. Talk about bringing your work home with you. He parks his truck under a carport that could accommodate an RV. But his truck is so tall that a standard carport wouldn't work for it. He walks to the trunk of my car to get my suitcase out and carries it to the front door. He unlocks the door and says, "Let me show you to your room." He leads me down a hallway to the left, and it is the last door on the right. He flips the light on and there's the queen-size bed with the flowery comforter with a bunch of decorative pillows on top. My mom and dad visit often, and this is the room they use. She picked out the comforter. If it's too much, I can change it out. You can throw those pillows in the hope chest at the end of the bed. My parents won't be coming to town for another month. He sets my suitcase down on the floor, then heads into the adjoining bathroom, flipping the light on. Bathroom should have everything you need, and towels are in the closet. It's perfect. It is perfect and totally unexpected that someone would show this kind of compassion and care for a perfect stranger. We just met this morning. We spent a few hours together, and now I'm here in his home. His sanctuary, his oasis. Let me know if you need anything else. I'll start dinner in about an hour. I'm also going to let Scott know that you're with me. Okay, I'll get settled in then. Thank you again. You're welcome, Nina. Do you want the door open or closed? You can leave it open. With that, he turns and heads back the way we came. I plop down on the bed and look around the room. There's an antique vanity with a round mirror, antique perfume bottle sitting on top, a chest of drawers that match the vanity on the opposite side of the room, tall windows that allow the sun to stream in. I walk into the bathroom and there's a glass shower enclosure, toilet, sink, and small linen closet with extra towels and toiletries. Everything you need. Standing here looking around is when all the emotions that I've been fighting to hold back this afternoon hit me all at once. I close the bathroom door because I don't want Dominick to hear me break down. Sliding down the door to the floor, the tears start to flow. I should have known this would happen when things finally settled down and I had time to think about it. I hate that whoever did this to me still has power over me. I know this just happened and I need to give it time. But do you ever really get over something like this? How will it affect my life, my future relationships? Will it cause me to be so distrusting of men that I shy away from forming relationships? The answer to those questions remains to be seen. I don't want to be that woman, constantly fearful, looking over my shoulder, distrusting the opposite sex, labeling all men as only out for sex, and if they can't get it from you the easy way, then they take it from you the hard way. Nina, I hear Dominick calling for me from the bedroom. Yeah, around sniffling, still in the bathroom. Scott said that he would call you tomorrow. He was worried about you staying at your place too. You want to take a walk with me? He says from the bedroom door. I stand up, splashing some water on my face, and try to stifle the tears, taking in deep breaths. Sure, I'll be out in a minute. Dominick doesn't seem like the type that would make me feel bad for crying. I have had boyfriends before that made me feel bad for showing any emotions. It was accounted as weakness. He knows that I've been through something terrible. It took a while, but I finally was able to halt the tears long enough to come out. Of course, the evidence is still there. Puffy eyes with petechiae around them, red nose and ragged breathing. Dominick reaches his hand out to me and I take it. He pulls me in for another hug and my body sags against him. He doesn't say anything. What can he say? There isn't a thing that anyone can say that will make this better. There isn't anything anyone can say that will make me feel better. In time I can move past this, but it will always be there, waiting to pull me under, waiting for me to relive it, waiting to remind me how small and vulnerable I am, waiting to remind me how cruel the world can be, waiting to show me that safety can be a mirage. Dominick pulls back to look down at me and asks, "Are you ready to take that walk with me?" Between sniffles, "Yes." He runs his hands down my arms and then grabs my hands to lead me to the back door. He opens the door and I take in the scenery from the porch. I see the targets way off in the distance, and beyond that, there is what looks like a wooded area. He leads me through a gate and we walk toward the tree line behind his property. We make our way into the woods, and I can see a canopy of trees with the sun shining through, casting a green hue on everything. Surrounded by all this beauty makes me forget the bad things of the world, even if it's just for a few minutes. "Scott is torn up about your case," he says, matter of fact. "Why would he be torn up? I don't understand. I thought that was his job." "I'm not sure if you know or not, but about a year ago, there was another rape here, and they never caught the guy. Scott was lead investigator on it. The guy came back, raped her, and then killed her. It was big news in a town like this. I had people coming out of the woodworks to take the safety, of course. I hated to profit off of a tragedy, but I also didn't want the citizens of this town to be defenseless either. Scott feels like this could be a copycat or that it's the same guy. Sounds like the same MO. Single female, the same type of threat. He threatened to kill her as well. Unfortunately, he made good on that threat." He blows out a breath. "I want you to stay here with me. The guy waited about a month before he came back. I will feel terrible knowing that I let you go back home if something happens to you. Before you argue, I've talked to Scott and he thinks it's the best thing under the circumstances. Until this guy's in custody, I want you here where I can keep an eye on you. No, before you can protest about that, you're not a burden." "Okay, I do have to eventually go back to work." I agree that under the circumstances, it would be safest for me. "I took the liberty of calling your boss. I've known Brian for a while now, and he said that you need to take some vacation time anyway. You don't have to report back until Monday." "I wish you would have talked to me about that first. You didn't tell him about the incident, did you?" "Of course not. That is your story to tell. I just told him you needed to take time off to take care of some personal issues. He didn't question how we knew each other either, or why I was the one calling on your behalf. Brian knows that I'm single with no family around. I told him I would call him tomorrow when I talked to him earlier today. I'm sure he's concerned about me. He wanted to stop by with his wife, but there's no way I could face them right now. I'm not ready to get into it." He took my word for it, without question. If he wants to think we're an item, let him. It might make it easier on you than explaining why I called him for you. That might get you off the hook as far as having to explain the incident as well. Again, that is your story to tell or not. I will back you up either way. Thank you for doing that." "You're welcome. Whatever I can help you with, let me know. I know what it's like to not have family around when you need them. When I moved here, I left Texas and everyone I knew behind. Texas will always be home, but Aurora Vista has grown on me. The more people I meet and the deeper relationships I form here solidifies my reason for staying put. Now I know that I can't ever leave. I know earlier you questioned whether or not moving here was a good idea. If you hadn't moved here, we would have never met." I know logically it's too early to even think about anything long term with this man, but when he says things like that, I can't help but look ahead to the future. If there's a reason to stay here in this town, it will be because there's a future with him. He could be the only thing holding me here. Connie might make me reconsider a move too. I could run back home to Texas and be back with my family, but I also left home so that I could forge my own way in the world. If Dominick wants to make a go of it, I wouldn't be opposed to it. You're right, living here hasn't been all bad, This one situation shouldn't make me run for the hills. I know that I will bounce back eventually. I'll be right here with you every step of the way. Connie will help you as well. Scott will if you give him a chance. You will have the support you need if you give people a chance to help you. This is a great town despite what one bad person did. The realization that I do have a support system here is almost too much. I still have to talk to my family about what happened. But I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be done in person, not over the phone. You've all been great. Connie wants me to join her one evening this week for a girls' night out at the tavern. Well, it may not be a girls' night out if I'm somewhere in the background watching out for you guys. That's fine. His protectiveness is touching. This has been the first time in my adult life that someone sought to protect me. I've been on my own for about 4 years now. After college, I moved into an apartment back in Texas. Lived there a couple of months, then found my dream job in Aurora Vista. The rest is what you could say is history. Little did I know that someone would come along and attempt to sabotage that. If I turn tail and run now, then a rapist wins. I can't allow that. I have to live every day with what he did, but I don't have to lock myself away and never experience anything. Man, I figured you were gonna fight me on this stuff. What's the fight? I know you're just trying to help me out. You've already done so much for me, and I really appreciate it. Are you ready to head back? Sure. He grabs my hand again. There may be more to this blossoming friendship. Of course, I need time to heal, but I think with Dominick beside me, I can do just that.